today's gospel, Jesus points out something which is so wrong, and that is living the religion just for show, so that other people might look at me or any one of us, and it's all kind of false and hypocritical. So the example, he's thinking about the scribes and watching them, and he says, they wear long robes. They go into the marketplace expecting the people to come up and just kind of, oh, you're so great. It's like, oh, thank you, give me some love. And that they not only do that, but they also expect people to look at them with nothing but adoration and praise. Well, you might say, no, we don't do that. Not so fast. Because we might not wear the long robes and go into the marketplace and expect places of honor. Maybe we do, but more likely we do it other ways, a little more subtle. Things like we think we're a little bit better than other people, and might think or say stuff like, well, at least I don't do what he did or what she did, so I'm a little bit better than that. So it's like, it's all about me. Or we might do stuff like judge people. Okay, we're all human, thoughts come to our mind, or we judge somebody's action. Oh, okay, so that happens, but to go on and to nourish that, to feed that, and go, well, I'm so much better than they are, and they're so bad, and all this judging other people, that's another way that we do it. Or another way is that we don't make mistakes that we admit. Or that I'm just not like all other people, and we don't go and ask forgiveness for someone. Because I'm never wrong, and it's all your fault, when there's a mistake made. That's the way that we can do that. It's like, I'm looking at myself. It's all about me. I'm the greatest. That's the first mistake. The second one is that they don't look to other people to help those in need. And so it says in there, it says that you devour the houses of widows. You take advantage of people to get your own. And then you recite long prayers after you do that, as if it's going to be okay. And when we don't look out for the needs of other people and work to kind of help them out to the ability that we're able, that's part of the problem, because true religion does that. So Jesus is pointing out that we need to be honest and true. And that's what is so right about this gospel. What is so right is that it goes to the heart of the matter and says that you need to live your religion from your heart. And the example he brings up is the example of the widow who puts her last coins in there. Now, God never requires us to be destitute, to go destitute in order to support the church. All right, that's not the point. The point is this, that what she is doing comes from her heart. So I found another story which kind of underlines that, at least for me it does. Mother Teresa told a story once of how one day she was walking down the street when a beggar came up to her and said, Mother Teresa, everybody is giving to you. I also want to give to you. Today, for the whole day of begging, I got 30 cents. I want to give it to you. Mother Teresa thought for a moment. If I take his 30 cents, he will have nothing to eat tonight. And if I don't take it, I'll hurt his feelings and I will disrespect his offering. So I put out my hands and took the money. I've never seen such joy on anybody's face as I saw on the face of that beggar at the thought that he too could give something to Mother Teresa and her works. Mother Teresa went on. It was a big sacrifice for that poor man who had sat in the sun the whole day and received only 30 cents. 30 cents is such a small amount. and I can get really nothing with it. But as he gave it up and I took it, it became like thousands, because it was given with so much love. God looks not at the greatness of the work, but at the love with which it is performed. God wants us to live from the heart, to live our faith from the heart. Instead of saying, I am the greatest, we say, God is the greatest. My eyes, my heart, my thoughts are fixed on God. And I don't care what other people think about that. I'm looking to God. That's one thing Jesus set straight and calls us to. That kind of heart-filled faith. The second is that we also think about helping others. Instead of devouring theirs, instead of saying, well, I got mine, too bad about you, it's like, what I have, I can use, and I need to share that. It is part and parcel of what it means to be faith-filled people. And it makes a difference to others as well as to ourselves when we give of what we have received. Found another story that I really liked, and it's about Leo Tolstoy, the great Russian author. And he said he was walking along the street in Russia during a famine. The great writer said he met a beggar. Tolstoy searched in his pockets to look for something he could give, but there was none. He had early given away all his money to other beggars he had met. In his pity, he reached out, took the beggar in his arms, embraced him, kissed him on his hollow cheeks, and said, "Don't be angry with me, my brother. I have nothing to give." The beggar's face lit up. Tears flowed from his eyes, and he said, "But you embraced me and kissed me. You called me brother. You have given me yourself. That is a great gift." And yes, we are called to share of our possessions with others, not to go destitute doing it for most, but that's the kind of gift that we give as well, the gift of ourselves. Someone recently told me, he said, I went to the store the other day, and there's a big long line. And so I saw the manager came up and says, that cashier is going to come to this line right here, so why don't you get in line? So the cashier comes out and looks at him in line and says, "What are you doing here?" And he could tell she was having a bad day, which we all have. But anyway, he looked at her and said, "I'm here because the manager said the best cashier we have is going to be in this line." And he said, she just lit up and says, "Well, then please step right forward." What can we give others? Ourselves. What can we give God? Ourselves. It's the most important gift we have. So, Jesus says, beware of those who live on the outside, but rather be those who from the heart love God. Be those who from the heart love others.